guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. I'm having trouble with my internet this morning. I would have done a 20-minute video and it's come out in two separate videos of 10 minutes because I don't know, there's a lot of flats being built down this street, right down Corey's Road to Blue Boar Lane. And basically, you know, a load of people are using, obviously, internet. And I've got hyper optic, and it's very, very slow this morning, and it's cutting off. It's very slow, the internet this morning. And it's a pain in the bum, to be honest, because I just wanted, I was sitting down there talking for an extra 10 minutes and didn't realise that I'd been cut off, which was a bit embarrassing. So I have to keep, this is why I keep coming over to the camera to check that the camera's still running. So two separate videos of 10 minutes when it could have been 20, 23. So it is Friday morning. My mother Jennifer has just rung all the way from Durrell Gardens in Chatham. How am I? I told her I think I had the dodgy takeaway when I went round there the other day. I feel listless, sluggish, I feel sick, tired, and not my normal self. But also we have a high humidity, and I think that it is warm for April. It's quite warm, isn't it? Even though the weather outside looks like it's going to rain, the humidity in this room and outside is quite high. So it can make you feel sweaty and I feel a bit faint this morning. I'm still going to go out and take Max for a walk though. Quick 2-minute conversation with my mother, I think it was about 30 seconds actually. And she hopes to see me, Crystal, her daughter, tomorrow. And I have told you that it's the Sweeps Festival, so there's possibly going to be hold-ups going out of Rochester to Chatham, and Chatham coming back, which is going to be quite a high, expensive lot of money. So I might tell the driver when he's driving me back to drop me off at Rochester railway station rather than go through that tunnel. Going to be a nightmare. The traffic is going to be a nightmare over the weekend. So I'm here in my flat with my lovely Chihuahua. I had a conversation. Someone has just asked me, did I sleep well last night? Why shouldn't I? Is there a reason why I shouldn't have slept well last night? Kiss after the message. So that started again. Crystal, good morning. Did you sleep well last night? Kiss. I took a phone call, but I went back to bed about 11. I just deal with things as they happen. I hadn't had the best of days. There'd been a dog barking from 9 to at least 5 yesterday evening, but the dog's owner is at home today, so there's no dog barking this morning. I haven't woken up to a barking dog, and I know that dogs can be a handful. I'm not going to have a go at somebody. I don't shout, I don't rant, I try and mediate, and when I've got a confrontation I try to diffuse it. That guy yesterday was aggressive and he was angry. He didn't want to carry crates up the stairs. And yet I've had a lady, a blonde lady, Tesco delivery driver, and my son explained to the driver that I have anxiety issues and I have disabilities, and she offered to carry the crates up the stairs for me, and that was a woman in her 60s. But I didn't let that lady carry the crates up the stairs. I put the shopping in the bag, and you see the complete contrast. A man telling me to carry a crate that's not that heavy, to someone that's disabled, it is. It is heavy. I hadn't been well. I'd been sick and ill the night before, and I felt very faint, and I could have fallen down the stairs with that crate. And I thought that was absolutely evil and awful to do. Talk to me. There was no witnesses. You know why? Because number 4 was out. Number 6 was out. Number 3 was out. I was left alone with this aggressive gentleman all by myself on the first floor with nobody about at all except a barking dog. Oh, it felt awful, but I made a joke of it and he left and I didn't come to harm. But that could have got out of hand. A 5'5" woman left alone with this aggressive driver, and he was aggressive to start with. I didn't film going down the stairs, opening the door to him and how he spoke to me. It's awful. So I've just spoken with my mum and she hopes to see me, her daughter, tomorrow. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
I think it sets the tone, doesn't it? It says what the government wants the BBC to do. It tells the staff what the whole atmosphere is about at the BBC. So if you appoint somebody who's a big Tory donor, who's got no interest in broadcasting, as far as we can tell historically, who's never worked as a journalist, and give them that job, I would argue, and I think BBC journalists who contact me tell me it is a dampening effect on the BBC. Now, we have a situation now where the Director General of the BBC is a former Tory party candidate. The chair of the BBC until a few moments ago was a big Tory party donor. We have Robbie Gibb on the board. Now, Robbie Gibb was a spin doctor for 10 Downing Street, who actually had the gall to go up to Newsnight, and you're a very eminent ex-presenter of Newsnight. I was merely a humble reporter on the programme. But he had the gall to go to the Newsnight staff and tell the Newsnight staff that they had to be more impartial and to lecture them about objectivity. Robbie Gibb, I mean, who are you kidding?
And of course, it reportedly intervened when they were going to bring back a former deputy editor of Newsnight, Jess Bramer, into an executive role.
Exactly.
At
Now,
the
the chair of the BBC, when he knew that Robbie Gibb was doing that, he should have made it absolutely clear that it was completely inappropriate for Robbie Gibb to enter the Newsnight office.
Okay.
And an independent chair would have done that.
That's a really interesting point, because you're saying that there may not have been a proactive influence, but there is an absolute absence of reactive influence. So Robbie Gibb is presumably thinking, well, I'm not going to get who's going to slap my knuckles. Hey, who's going to wrap my knuckles?
Exactly. I think that's it. I think that's exactly right. And also the role of the chair, especially when public service broadcasting is under attack. Now you look at the Tories. Whenever I sit opposite them, so spare a thought. I look at these angry, raging faces. I mean, I was speaking one day, and one of the Tory MPs actually started to growl at me. Literally, he made a growling noise as I was speaking. These are not normal people that you meet in your everyday life, and they really hate the BBC. They really hate public service broadcasting. And I don't think BBC staff felt that Richard Sharp was a champion who would stand up for them. And we saw that during Gary Lineker, the whole kerfuffle over Gary Lineker. The BBC chair should have been out and about defending the BBC and public service broadcasting. He was in hiding.
I just heard from Gary Lineker. It's fair to say he won't be passing much comment on today's developments in the news. But speaking
I
of...
imagine he's doing a dance around his Bijou residence with his son there, but we'll see.
Speaking of profoundly abnormal people, Nadine Dorries springs to mind. Is it fair to say that if you are going to attempt some form of cultural coup on the few corners of the UK media that you don't already have in your pocket, then putting Nadine Dorries in charge of anything was probably not a genius move?
I don't think it's a secret that I'm not an enormous fan of Miss Dorries.
She was Secretary of State for Culture and Media as well. I know it's still hard to believe, but this happened on her watch, didn't it?
I think people should be appointed to the role who have a vague knowledge of the subject matter. You should kind of know how Channel 4 is funded, for example, if you're going to become the culture secretary. And you should kind of not make up things about Channel 4 programs.
Or LBC presenters.
That's a basic benchmark, really. We've got to up standards in government, and I think one of those improvements we've got to make quickly is not giving jobs to party donors.
Finally, John Nicholson, do you feel sorry for Richard Sharp at all?
No, I don't. I mean, it must have been horrible that these last few weeks. So at that level, I don't like anybody to have a miserable time, but he had some chutzpah to think that he was qualified for this job, and there was always a sense of entitlement. I thought that during his various appearances before us. He's obviously not used to being questioned or criticised. At one point, but I thought I was having a reasonable chat with him, but he started banging the table in what appeared to be rage and frustration, and I thought, you're not used to being questioned. That's not good.
Might make a phone-in host.
Well, let's see what he does.
Yes, indeed.
But there's a kind of pattern of public service appointments from this government. They tend to be middle-aged, white, entitled, boarding school educated, and far too close to the Conservative Party.
Well, thankfully I'm only 3 out of 4 of those. John Nicholson, many thanks indeed, the SNP MP and stalwart of the Select Committee on Culture, Media and Sport, where he has very much been fighting the good fight on behalf of people who recognise the importance of, well, everybody recognises the importance of an independent national broadcaster. Some people value it and some people despise it, which is why I thought it was relevant to bring Nadine Dorries and Boris Johnson into this conversation as early as possible. I noticed that I have Mick Wright on the line from Norwich. Mick, you may be familiar with Tweets as Broken Bottle Boy, and puts out a rather splendid blog called Conquest of the Useless, which has been unstinting on occasion in its criticism of me and colleagues. He is a media commentator who has somehow managed to carve a niche for himself outside of the media, what would you call it, almost sort of symbiotic media, where you sort of stop yourself from criticising somebody because you used to work with them or you like them. I love his work, is what I'm saying, even though he has on occasion been caustic about me, so I'm glad to see that he's running, and we'll talk to him immediately after this.
This is Claire Fraser's on LBC.
Saturday afternoons from 4.
No good comes from this blind, liberal, bleeding heart way of going about it.
Covering the issues that matter to you.
We should be brave enough to start the conversation about this.
On your radio.
These people all knew they were doing something wrong.
And on Global Player.
So totally ridiculous.
Claire Fraser's on LBC.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual.
Right. Exit.
So even in
Alexa.
crucial seconds when life
Exit.
is a patient's most recent scan to better inform.
So guys, it's just an ordinary Friday for me. I don't go to work, I have a disability, and it's hard to prove to people because I put a brave face on it. When I walked downstairs and that Tesco driver treated me like absolute shit, I was in pain, I wasn't feeling well, and I was told to carry a crate up the stairs. I don't get cross, I'm a woman. I'm very soft and I'm shy and reserved in front of people, and I was left alone with this hulk of a man that was being quite frightful, and I think I dealt with it very well. I've had females carry crates up the stairs. No, they've gone, I'll carry it, it's my job. It was outrageous. There was also a savage dog, but it was probably not, but it sounded like a savage dog barking, and it was obviously making this guy who was angry and irritated even worse. I don't know if that was meant to happen, but I've been hit by men several times and it's not pleasant. I've had my nose broken by a man, and I've had my teeth shattered by a man, and I felt very, very, not scared, wary. that wasn't pleasant yesterday, and I don't want a repeat of it. Yes, Hyde Housing should fix the lift, but it was only up to the first floor. He didn't have to carry crates up to the second floor or to the third floor. My father, Derek, was relatively the same age as that man when he was lifting television sets up 14 flights of stairs. So I don't know what his problem was, but that I'm not complaining because I've complained. Maybe Tesco's would get something out of it. Because normally when I complain to the NatWest Bank. And 2 weeks after I complained, they started getting a new carpet. My dad would complain to All Hallows, and then they would go and get something new. I'm not complaining anymore. I'm just letting other people see how I'm treated and what happens. And that's it. See you later.